Hi, everyone. Good to be here again. Welcome to another Healthy Minds live streaming meditation. My name is Jay. I'm going to be guiding a short 5-minute practice today after a little bit of preamble. If you don't know, Healthy Minds Innovations is a nonprofit aimed at translating the science of well-being into useful tools. That includes a Healthy Minds program app, which is a wonderful complement to your home practice, as well as live streaming sessions like this. So today's topic, actually the topic for the whole week, is gratitude, which is a really important aspect of bringing your full heart to this practice and bringing your full heart to life. There's a lot of really great research showing the mental health and well-being benefits of expressing gratitude, whether interpersonally or in a journal or anything like that. So I'd like to just invite you as we start to share in the chat one thing you're grateful for. Also a hello and maybe where you are if you'd like. But I'd like really to hear one thing you're grateful for right now. It can be a really great practice to include in your morning routine or your nightly routine to just write down things you're grateful for. Very, very powerful practice. And while you write that, I'm going to share a little bit of my view on gratitude. One of the things that's really interesting about our species, human beings, and why we've been so, why we've thrived compared to other species. One of our superpowers biologically is adaptation. So we have human beings who lived in extremely cold climates, extremely warm climates, very different ecosystems, very different, fauna and flora. We find a way to survive. We adapt to whatever situation we're placed in. And you see this in your own life too. When inevitable change arises, you have to move, you have to live somewhere different, you have to change your approach or change your job, you have to adapt. And actually, as human beings, it can seem like a challenge sometimes, but we're surprisingly good at it. But one of the downsides of adaptation for our mental health and well-being is that it leads us to take things for granted. So you may have noticed that I'm in a different room right now. That's because my family and I, we just returned to our home in Toronto, Canada, after spending 4 months squatting on families' couches in spare rooms to get out of the city to benefit our 1-year-old who would be really struggling in an apartment in the midst of pandemic mode. And so it was really great for him and for his family, and there was a lot of silver linings. But now that we've come back home, there's a lot of gratitude I'm experiencing for the little things, gratitude about having my own space, gratitude about little aspects of the city. And there's this weird pattern where once we spend a lot of time with something, we just take it for granted and we forget to be grateful for it. And it's part of our natural ability to adapt. We start to take things for granted and we stop being grateful for them. So I see you guys sharing in the chat. Thank you so much. Lolita's grateful for family. Wonderful. Grateful for summer weather, beauty in nature, life and happiness. Grateful for the dog sitting in front of me. And grateful for my husband. There's that family piece again. So these are all things that when we express gratitude, including just writing something in the chat box, we bring forward to conscious awareness something that we maybe were taking for granted the moment before, the hour before, the day before, the week before. And when we actually train this skill of gratitude, which is part of the connection pillar of well-being in the 4 pillars of the Healthy Mind model, we train the skill of not letting ourselves take too much for granted by focusing on the gratitude we have for these things in our life. So we're going to do a 5-minute practice now. It's going to be very short today because I feel like what we really want to do is create the momentum to continue this practice throughout the rest of our day. So we're going to take 5 minutes together here to frame a bit of gratitude for our own bodies. And we're going to leave the prompt to actually continue that through the rest of our day. So let's give that a shot, and we'll see how it goes. So find yourself a comfortable position, whatever feels natural for you. You'll want to stand up tall to represent this intention to be awake and alert and you want to relax down into your body to also balance that with a sense of restfulness. If sitting up or standing up is not accessible to you, any position that you feel comfortable, that feels safe, go ahead and take that position. And if possible, I recommend not something so comfortable that you're likely to fall asleep. So even if you're lying down, not curled up in bed with your comforter on, but just maybe on a yoga mat or lying on a bed without too much support, so you can stay awake. If it feels natural and safe for you to close your eyes, you can do so. If you'd like to keep them open, choose a spot to fixate your gaze and rest it there. And just before we get started, I want you to just bring your attention to whatever you notice in the body in this moment. Anything you notice is fine. Notice the pressure, your connection with the ground and gravity, or maybe little tingles or discomfort or pain, or the feeling of clothes or a gentle breeze. Whatever you notice is perfectly okay. And whenever you're ready, continuing this body awareness, but for every sensation you notice, taking that moment to offer a little gratitude for that sensation. So for example, if you notice a tingle on your leg, which I'm currently noticing, I can say thank you, or I can just notice and be grateful for this experience. Be grateful for my ability to feel, grateful to that tingle for arising. Just taking every moment to offer a thankful awareness to whatever you notice in your body in the moment. If it helps, you can actually say the words thank you, either to yourself or out loud if you're alone, to every sensation you notice. Just taking a moment to thank gravity for that pressure under your body, to thank your clothes for the tingles they provide. Just offering thanks to whatever sensations you notice in the body. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, so just try to explore and experiment with an open curiosity. Notice whatever way gratitude manifests for you, and express that in the moment for whatever you're noticing in your body in this present moment. And now continue with this practice, but we're going to open it up a bit. So whatever your relationship might be with your body, I know a lot of us have challenging relationships, either due to self-image or health issues or the natural process of aging, or even if you don't have those challenging issues. Open it up so that wherever you notice the sensation, if you notice the breath or if you notice a feeling in your leg, to really take a moment to reflect on everything your body does for you and everything it has done for you in your whole life up until this point. And even if aspects of your body are failing, that's perfectly okay. Just being grateful for that experience, that there's more right with your body than there is wrong, just by the nature that you're here, that you're breathing with us, that you're practicing with us. Trying to really bring that positive frame to remember everything that your body does for you and has done for you. So if you notice the breath, you might also gratitude by reflecting on how that breath has sustained you for all the years or decades of your life. And if you notice the pressure of the chair beneath you, you might notice how your frame and your bones have held you up and continue to hold you up day after day of the exhausting marathon of life, and so on. So bringing a little open curiosity and creativity to this approach as we just express gratitude for our bodies as a whole or for the specific areas where we're noticing sensations in the moment. We'll do this for another minute or so. Okay, great. And as a final aspect to close our practice, just take a few seconds to reflect on how you might express that gratitude for your body over the coming day or even the coming week. What might you do maybe as a gift or an act of generosity to thank your body for everything it's done for you, everything it's doing for you, and everything it will do for you, especially if you have a challenging relationship with your body? To really think and reflect and even picture, I'd encourage you to even picture yourself doing this act of generosity, expressing that gratitude for your body, to actually picture yourself doing it and set an intention to do it in the coming days or weeks. Okay, great. So thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Feel free to write your intention down. You can also share it in the chat, and I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to see and be motivated by whatever you've chosen to do to express gratitude to your body. And just a word before we part, especially in the time of this pandemic where health is in the foreground of our minds, and many of you might be, and many of your loved ones, and certainly many people around the world are suffering with embodied health issues around this virus and other such issues that we're struggling to get care for given the overrun healthcare systems. It's a reminder to be grateful. As much as it's a stressor and a challenge, it's also a reminder to be grateful for what we may have taken for granted in the past. So that's a pattern I've noticed in my practice over the years, is that when something is threatened or when you take something away for a while, when you return, even while it's threatened and challenged, you have this opportunity to, along with the difficulty, to take a moment to really express and reflect on your gratitude for what you may have taken for granted. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. Next week, we've got 2 more meditations, one from Stephanie and one from Peter on Tuesday and Thursday. And then the week after that, I'm doing both meditations, so I'll be doing both the Tuesday and Thursday the week after next. So hit subscribe or follow on Twitter if you want the updates about these practices. And I encourage you to take this gratitude for your body forward throughout the rest of your day. I hope you're safe and well and sane in these challenging times, and if not, I hope this practice led some sort of balance into your life, and